Mousavian. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Iran and the world powers, they both consider the deal agreed in Switzerland as a win-win deal. To my understanding, there is 5 reasons why Iranians, they would consider the deal a win for Iran. Number 1 is that the deal contains respect for Iranian nuclear technology, including enrichment, heavy water, and light water. Number 2 is ultimately the sanctions would be lifted, even gradually. Number 3 is that ultimately the Iranian nuclear file at the IAEA would be normalized. And number 4 is that, again, ultimately the Iranian nuclear file would be removed from Chapter 7, United Nations Security Council, and all resolutions would be terminated. And number 4 is that Iran, after a period, would be able to have a normal, peaceful cooperation on peaceful nuclear technology with the world powers. This is something Iran has been sanctioned from the day 1 of revolution. The world powers, they consider the deal a win for themselves. Again, I would like to give you 5 reasons why they believe this is a win for the world powers, for the U.S. Number 1, Iran accepted the maximum level of transparency and verification measures within non-proliferation treaty. We have safeguard agreement, we have additional protocol, and we have subsidiary arrangement code 3.1. These are 3 arrangements for verification and transparency within non-proliferation and the IAEA. Iran has accepted to be member to all 3 arrangements. Number 2 is Iran would agree, has agreed to address all possible military dimension issues which would need to give verification, transparency, inspection to the IAEA beyond NPT. Practically, the world powers, they have got the most intrusive, strong, powerful verification system during the history of proliferation in the deal with Iran. No other member state of NPT has ever been committed like Iran on verification and transparency measures. Number 4 is they were looking for a breakout of 1 year in case Iran decide to go for nuclear weapon. There would be a breakout of 1 year. They have got it. And number 5, for confidence building measures, the U.S. and the world powers, they needed time. Due to 35 years of hostility, and this deal implementation for measures are about 10 to 25 years. Therefore, they have got enough time for almost a decade to a quarter of century. To my understanding, this is a mutual win, the deal for both. And again, I would like to give you 5 reasons why this is a win-win, a mutual win for both of them. First, through diplomatic solution, they were able to escape a devastating war in the Middle East. And perhaps this is one of the very rare occasions the big crisis in the Middle East has been resolved or is going to be completely resolved through diplomacy. Second, they have been able to set a new mechanism for verification, for non-diversion toward weaponization. Many nuclear experts, they believe NPT is not enough. Many, they believe even additional protocol, which is the maximum level of transparency, is not enough. And the sets of measures is practically a new mechanism of verification and transparency, assuring non-diversion toward weaponization for the first time far beyond NPT. Therefore, if they are wise enough, the world powers, to embed the agreements with Iran on broader scope, regionally and internationally, this would be a big, big gain for proliferation globally. Number 4 is that perhaps this is the first evidence the engagement policy of President Obama announced in 2009 has worked. Iran and the U.S., they have been trying for 35 years to improve relations, a lot of efforts, all have failed, and this is the first time a success is stamped at the highest level of negotiation between Iran and the U.S., which definitely would have implication on relation between Iran and the West. And number 5, it opens the door to a regional dialogue between Iran and the world powers, Iran and the West, Iran and Europe and the US. Tehran and Washington, they decided not to go for broader dialogue, cooperation, negotiations on other issues unless they reach to something on the nuclear. Therefore, this deal, if it's finalized by July 1st, can open the door for Iran and the US to cooperate to have a regional dialogue, to cooperate on common interests, common threats. It's obvious now the extremism, terrorism, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Jabhat al-Nusra, they are a threat to the region, to even U.S. allies, to Iran, to international community, and there is a consensus that the threat number 1 to international peace and security today is ISIS and other versions of ISIS like Al-Qaeda. And there is indirect cooperation between Iran and the U.S. Americans are leading the air strike against ISIS. Iranians, they are a key element, key force on the ground battle against ISIS. They have common interest for peace and stability in Iraq, peace and stability in Afghanistan, and many other issues like security of energy. Therefore, this is step 1 toward cooperation. If they want, now they can open a dialogue to cooperate on commonalities and common threats. Giving 5 reasons why Iranians are happy, giving five reasons why the P5+1 is happy, and 5 reasons why the international community and the region should be happy. I believe everything is not over yet. They have a lot to do until July 1st. Many, many technical issues have remained unresolved. Therefore, we cannot say the deal is 100% done. Second, with a nuclear deal, 35 years of hostilities between Iran and the US is not going to be over. There is a huge mistrust between Iran and the US, Iran and the West, and some US allies in the region, even Israelis, they are very much worried whether after the deal Iranians and Americans, they would go to bed. I want to assure them they are not going to bed soon. It takes time and this only could be the first step. Thank you.